Good morning to everybody. Today I would like to talk about another type of motion from mechanics, that is rotational motion. Already you people studied translatory motion in previous chapters. So totally, whereas in mechanics in first year physics, we are going to learning three types of motion: translatory motion, rotatory motion. The third one is simple harmonic motion. Already you have studied translatory motion. Now it is the time to know about rotatory motion. So rotatory motion of rigid bodies. We are going to study rotatory motion of rigid bodies. So what is rigid body? A body, the shape and size of the body is constant. A rigid body is that which has definite size and a definite shape. Then the body is said to be called rigid body. That means when a force is applied, the shape and size does not change. Of course, strictly speaking, if you are applying a large force, there will be change in shape and size. And if you take all real bodies in our day-to-day life, can be treated as rigid bodies. Moreover, these all rigid bodies are made of large number of particles. These all large number of particles exerted force on each other particle. So these forces are internal forces. So these forces cannot change the state of rest of the rigid bodies. They cannot stop the rotating rigid bodies. So that is why in this point of view, rigid bodies are also called system of particles. So system of particles, rigid body or real body, we are using in the same concept. So in this chapter, we are thoroughly going to study the motion of rigid bodies. Actually, the motion of rigid bodies are classified into three categories. One is pure translatory motion. You see here. So what is translatory motion? I don't want to talk. Why? Because you are already studied. If you see in this video, you can understand what is translatory motion. The second kind of motion is rotatory motion. Rotational motion, pure rotational motion. The third one is the combination of translational and rotational motion. So some rigid bodies are having simultaneously, they exhibit rotatory and translatory motion. So like this, you see this video, a rolling wheel on the road. So by rolling, it has rotatory motion. By moving on the road, it has translatory motion. So here three bodies, three rigid bodies in these three videos. Here this rigid body has translatory motion, this has rotatory motion, this has combination of rotatory and translatory motion. Out of them, in this chapter, we are going to study the last two types of motion of rigid bodies: pure rotational motion and a combination of translatory and rotatory motion. Now you go for pure translatory motion. Whereas in previous chapter, you people studied as a point mass. By taking point mass, you have studied the translatory motion. Newton laws are applied. But the same Newton laws we can also apply for rigid bodies, the translatory motion of rigid bodies. Again, you take a car moving along the road. So if you saw the moving car, what do you understand? Every particle of the rigid body has covered same displacement in the specified time. So each and every particle of the rigid body moves parallel to each other. So such a type of motion is called translatory motion. You may also take firing of a bullet from a gun. Firing of a bullet from a gun. A ball is rolling on the ground. You see, a ball is rolling on the ground. Here, the motion of this ball is also translatory motion. So every particle of this ball travels equal displacement in specified time. Each and every particle moves parallel to another particle. So pulling out a draw from the wooden table, it is also translating motion. And if a stone is thrown from a catapult, so these all are belongs to translatory motion of rigid bodies. But whereas in this chapter, we are not going to talk in translatory motion. We are going to studying about rotatory motion of rigid bodies. Pure rotational motion. So the motion in which a rigid body rotates about a fixed axis. So every particle of the body moves in a circle which lies in a plane perpendicular to the axis and has its center on the axis. So when the body is revolving in a circular path about an axis, then what happened? Each and every particle of the rigid body is also moving in the same circular path. So those all circles are parallel to each other. And the center of the body is on the axis. The body is moving in a circular path. And the body is moving in a circular path about an axis. This is called axis of rotation. This is called axis of rotation. Where each and every particle of the rotating body has moved in a circle, in a circular path. For example, motion of the blade. Motion of the blades of a fan. How the blades of the fan are revolving in a circular path. Here at the center, it is provided a rod. This is called axis of rotation. And the motion of wheel, gears, and motors. You see. If you take the engine parts, so this is pure rotatory motion. A door's swiveling on its hinges when you open and close it. And the motion of the spinning top. Motion of the spinning top. So these all are the best example for pure rotatory motion. These all are example for pure rotatory motion. But in the 7th chapter, system of particles in rotatory motion, you are going to study thoroughly about pure rotatory motion. So before going to studying pure rotatory motion of the rigid bodies, so rigid bodies also having some complicated motion. Some rigid bodies may have simultaneously rotatory and translatory motion. When they exhibit strong simultaneously rotatory and translatory motion, something the motion of the body is complicated. In those cases, we cannot describe the motion of the body so easy. So first shall we discuss the combination of rotatory and translatory motion. After that, shall we study the pure rotatory motion. Now, I would like to discuss the combination of rotatory and translatory motion. No, it is also pure rotatory motion. Pure rotatory motion. And here the body is moving. So this is rigid body. The rigid body is moving circular path about an axis. Here this is called the plane. Here the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the plane of rotation of the rigid body. This is called axis of rotation. If you want to rotate any body in day-to-day life, the body must provide an axis of rotation. Depending upon the position of axis of rotation, the rotatory motion will be changes. So here axis of rotation plays very most important role in rotatory motion. Now here the body is moving in so this is called vertical circular path. This is horizontal circular path. This is axis of rotation. So when the body is moving in vertical circular path, so this is the plane of the circular path. Here also the axis of rotation perpendicular. So axis of rotation is always perpendicular for plane of rotation of the circular path. Here when the rigid body is moving in a circular path, each and every particle of the body is also revolving like this. So those all circles of every particle is parallel. So this is horizontal circular path, vertical circular path. But in day-to-day life, every body is rotating with the help of axis of rotation. But in some cases, the axis of rotation may not be real, imaginary. For example, in the case of planets, planets are revolving around the sun in an elliptical path. Here, the motion of planets is also belongs to rotatory motion. But in the case of planets, the axis of rotation is imaginary. In the case of planets, the axis of rotation really do not exist. But in day-to-day life, all rotating bodies has provided axis of rotation. This is pure rotatory motion. Just now I told, shall we discuss in further classes? Now I would like to bring the combination of rotatory and translatory motion. Combination of rotatory and translatory motion. Here I am showing, you see here in this video, the bicycle is moving along the road. And the bicycle is moving along the road. If you observe the rotation of the wheels are rotating in circular path and also moving in a straight line. Here the wheels of the bicycle has rotatory motion, translatory motion simultaneously. So in this case, to describe the motion of the body, it is not so easy. You take another example, seesaw. Here the motion of seesaw. No, here also two guys, two spongy boys, they are moving up and down. Here the moving up and down is rotatory motion. So in the middle there are hinges. The hinges is moving up and down. Here the motion of hinges. This is translatory motion. Here, so they are moving up and down. This is rotatory motion. So in the case of seesaw, also has translatory motion and rotatory motion simultaneously. So first shall we discuss the combination of these two types of motion. So when a body, a rigid body has these two types of motion simultaneously, it is something very complicated. We cannot describe the motion of the body. So in such a case, so we are introducing the concept of center of mass. When the rigid bodies are having complicated motion, to describe the motion of those bodies, you are using the concept of center of mass. By using the center of mass concept, we can describe the motion. Center of mass. If a system is composed of, number of particles and the system undergoes some complicated motion, example rotational and vibrational or rotational and translation, then we can describe the motion of this system in simplified way by the introduction of center of mass concept. So what is center of mass concept? Center of mass is nothing but a point. We are choosing a point within the rigid body or within the boundaries of the rigid body. At that point, no need to present mass at that point. That point may be within the body or within the boundaries of the body. By describing the motion of that point, we can explain the motion of entire body. How that point can describe the motion of entire body? By some mathematical equation, we can understand. Now you go through these equations. The velocity of center of mass. So center of mass is nothing but a point. We are choosing a point within the system, within the body or within the boundaries of the body. We are calculating the velocity of that point like this. M1, V1 plus M2, V2, like that. What are M1, M2? The masses of particles. V1, V2, their individual velocities. Later, the velocity of that point, that center of mass, is multiplied with entire mass of the body, which gives the momentum, the total momentum of all the particles of the rigid body. Here what we are doing, we are calculating velocity of center of mass. We are describing the velocity of center of mass. It is multiplied with entire mass of the body, which gives entire momentum of all the particles of this system. Next, now you go for acceleration. Acceleration of center of mass. So M1, A1 plus M2, M2. What are M1? Masses of all the particles of the rigid body. A1, A2, acceleration of those individual particles. ACM means acceleration of center of mass. We are choosing a point. We are calculating the acceleration of that point, that is center of mass. It is multiplying the entire mass of the body. Then it gives the total external force acting on all the particles. If you saw these two terms, the acceleration of the center of mass is multiplying the entire mass of the body, which gives the total external force acting on all the particles of the system. That is why these equations. So by using these equations, what can we understand? So these equations shows that with the concept of center of mass, these equations shows that with the concept of center of mass, motion of the entire mass of the body is described. Motion of the entire mass of the body is described under the effect of external forces. Now we can define the center of mass. So these equations shows with the concept of center of mass, motion of the total mass of the system is described under the effect of external forces. Now center of mass, how can we define? There are two important points if you want to define center of mass. One is the total mass is acting at center of mass, and total external force is also acting at the center of mass. So these two are important things if you want to define center of mass. Now you go through this definition. If number of particles of this system were subjected to external force, then there exists a point within the system. When number of particles of the system subjected to external force, then what happened? Then there exists a point within the system. That point which moves as though all the mass of the system were concentrated at that point, and all the external forces were applied at that point. That point is called center of mass. So center of mass is a point. How it is moved? Though all the mass of the system is concentrated at that point, all the external force is acting at that point. So that point, which point behaves like that? That point we are treating as center of mass. But here, the location of center of mass in different rigid bodies is important. So before going to discuss the location of center of mass, so sir, I would like to talk the center of mass of Earth and Moon system. So whereas in our textbook, so one question is on the center of mass of Earth and Moon system, one question is framed, 4-mark question. So the question is like this: explain about the center of mass of Earth and Moon system and its rotation around the sun. 4 marks. So here is one video. Here I am showing one video. So just that video is enough to write entire answer for this 4 marks. No, in that video there are sun, Earth, Moon. Here is sun. So this is Earth, this is Moon. So what you are observing? Moon is revolving around the Earth in a circular path. Earth is revolving around the sun in an elliptical path. But here, if you take mass, the mass of the Earth is 80 times more than that of the Moon. As a result, what will happen? Here, the gravitational force of attraction between Earth and the Moon, which are internal forces. Now the center of mass of Earth and Moon system is lies inside the Earth only. Why? Because the mass of Earth is more. So center of mass is always shifted to heavier mass. Now I will take some picture. Then the sun, Earth, Moon. Your Moon is revolving around the Earth in a circular path, whereas Earth is revolving around the Sun in an elliptical path like this. Now here, the center of mass of Earth and Moon system lies inside the Earth only. Why? Because the mass of Earth is very high as compared with so what is this? Center of mass. Center of mass of Earth and Moon system. Here Sun, Earth, Moon. And if you want to explain about the concept of center of mass, if you want to score 4 by 4 marks, so you must draw this figure. And first you write the Moon is revolving around. So what do you understand? The center of mass is always shifted towards heavier mass of the body. The position of center of mass depends upon distribution of mass. If the mass is more, center of mass is also shifted toward that side. So you draw this figure, you write 2 or 3 sentences. Moon is revolving around the Earth in a circular path. We know that Earth is revolving around the Sun in an elliptical path. The center of mass of the Earth and Moon system lies inside the Earth only. And both are moving in the opposite direction for their center of mass. The gravitational force of attraction between Earth and the Moon cannot influence the position of center of mass. So your gravitational force of attraction between them is acts as internal forces. Those internal forces cannot influence the position of center of mass. So like this, you write these points. We know that Moon revolves around the Earth in a circular orbit, and the Earth revolves around the Sun in an elliptical orbit. The Earth and Moon are revolving above their common center of mass, such that they are always on opposite sides of the common center of mass and make their center of mass at the Earth itself. In fact, the Earth-Moon system moves in such a way that its center of mass follows elliptical path around the Sun. So the Earth is revolving around the Sun in an elliptical path. Here, Earth and Moon system center of mass is lies inside the Earth. Then what I mean? The common center of mass of Earth and Moon system is also revolves around the sun in the elliptical path. So thank you. In next class, we would like to discuss about the characteristic of center of mass. I would like to bring some another important questions which are in my textbook. Thank you.